Hey YouTube, it's Kier and River. If you didn't see the video before this one, she's having a bad acid reflux morning, so she may or may not wake up screaming at some point during this video. But, you know, what are you gonna do? This is the Getting to Know Me 21 Questions tag, and it actually apparently was circulating around like 8 or 9 months ago. And I didn't hear about it back then. I just saw it on Cheryl Coyote's channel from a few months back because I'm catching up on YouTube videos, and it's been a minute since I've watched videos, so it was kind of back there a little bit. And I ended up watching like 5 or 6 random people's versions of it, and I thought it was a really cool tag and I wanted to do it. So if you're like so not interested in this, if it's, you know, something that you saw enough back then, if it's just way too 2015 for you, whatever, that's perfectly fine. You can skip ahead to the next video, or if I haven't done the next video yet, skip back to the last one. Sorry. I will post the questions, under the video in the description bar. And if I look like I'm looking off to the side, it's because I have the screen split on for the question about my favorite quotes, because I didn't want to go downstairs and get my little notebook that I have quotes written in, so I just looked them up online. The baby's sleeping, I can't leave her alone up here, and I don't like carrying her up and down the stairs, especially considering the whole seizure thing. So, alright, I think that's enough introduction. And I'm going to try not to have like an hour-long video for this, but y'all know I have a big fucking mouth. So, here it goes. Question number 1. When is your birthday? March 17th. We don't need to go there with the year. If you're my Facebook friend, you'll see soon enough. What are 3 of your favorite colors? Well, I only have 2 favorite colors, and that's purple, any shade of purple. I'm not picky. And black. I don't know. I really don't. I don't have a third one. It's literally just purple and black. So, yeah. What are 3 of your favorite quotes? Now, after I'm done with this one, I can probably make the screen full again. But this one is from Anne Rice, and it's from the Vampire Lestat. And it's, in spite of all the refinements of civilization that conspired to make art, the dizzying perfection of the string quartet, or the sprawling grandeur of Fragonard's canvases, I have no idea who that painter is, so if I mispronounce that, my bad. Beauty was savage. It was as dangerous and lawless as the earth had once been, eons before man had one single coherent thought in his head, or wrote codes of conduct on tablets of clay. Beauty was a savage garden. The other one is from Dolores Claiborne by Stephen King. It's pretty simple. This one I didn't need to read, but sometimes being a bitch is all a woman has to hold on to. Dolores Claiborne, I love that bitch. And the last one is by Alexander Pope, and it is, how happy is the blameless vestal's lot, the world forgetting by the world forgot. Eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, each prayer accepted and each wish resigned. I fucking love that quote. First time I heard it was on Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind, and I've loved it ever since then. Okay, now let's see if I can full screen this without fucking it up. Aha! I did it. Okay. Are you addicted to YouTube? Well, I am addicted to YouTube, but not quite the way you think. I go through phases where I'm addicted to people's videos. I feel like I'm fixing to come up on one because I'm so behind and I'm doing it channel by channel, and once I start, it's hard for me to stop, that kind of thing. But mainly I'm addicted to music, and I do get on YouTube every single day. If I am here alone, if I'm, you know, no matter what I'm doing, writing, doing dishes, whatever, I literally have YouTube up from the time I wake up until I go to sleep. Usually I'm not here alone all day long though, so, when other people are here, I don't really, unless I'm writing, and then I'll get YouTube up on my phone to listen to music. But because I'm listening to music, it's not like I'm sitting in one spot doing nothing but obsessing over YouTube or anything like that. I'm writing, cleaning the house, whatever. I have a huge zit on my arm. Oh, I'm going to pop that sucker in a bit. Sorry. So, I am, but I'm addicted in such a way that I'm a functional YouTube addict, so I don't really feel like I have a problem. What are 3 of your favorite shows? It can be TV or YouTube or both. Well, see, I don't really watch TV, or I didn't really watch TV until I got with Tony, and Tony watches TV all the fucking time, so I started watching television more. But as far as, like, my 3 favorite TV shows of all time, I don't even fucking know. Like, that would be really, really hard. Grey's Anatomy, definitely. I have literally grown up and developed with Meredith Grey, and I don't mean grown up from a child. I mean, when I started watching Grey's Anatomy, Grey and I were both, like, alcohol-guzzling, one-night stand having bitches. Only difference was she had a medical degree and all that, so, it was okay for her. I was 19 and fucking completely hopeless at the time, so wasn't so okay for me. So, she kind of matured, had a family. I eventually got older, had a family, and now we're kind of on the same page again, and I guess I'm just gonna grow older with her until the TV show stops and see how we develop together. Hopefully I won't be a widow at any point in time, but yeah, we've always tended to be on the same kind of, in the same phase of life or whatever, and it's been really cool. Dr. Quinn was my all-time favorite TV show when I was little, so even though I've tried to watch it as an adult and I'm like, oh my god, I cannot fucking believe I like this shit, I'll put it on there just because when I was little I was completely fucking obsessed with it. Loved it. Loved every single minute of it. And I want to say Roseanne. Toss up probably between Roseanne and AbFab. I love them both equally. I love them both with all my heart. So we'll tie that last one. It's a tie between Roseanne and AbFab, who, coincidentally enough, eventually had a crossover episode that was to die for. It was wonderful. And I believe it was also a Halloween episode, if I'm not mistaken. So you got Roseanne, AbFab, and an infamous Roseanne Halloween episode all blended into one. It was beautiful. What are 3 qualities you like in a best friend? Loyalty. Definitely loyalty. Sense of humor. And the ability to take my sense of humor. And I don't know. Loyalty, sense of humor, sense of perspective on things in life. That's not necessary, but it's nice. Do you like your name? I'll tell you what, I used to absolutely fucking despise my name. Oh my god, when I was little, I hated my name so hard. I mean, being a little kid with a name like Kier and not living in Hawaii, it sucked. I always heard, how do you pronounce that? I always heard really dumbass little jokes people made about it, things like that, and I hated it. And then my middle name is Rochelle, and I wasn't too fond of that either. I didn't really mind Snyder one way or the other. But as I grew older, I really cannot imagine being anything but Kier. It's weird, I'm weird, people can't pronounce it, people don't know how to take me. So, I mean, really, we fit each other. And then I also found out on a Travel Channel show that there's apparently an inactive volcano in Hawaii called Mount Kier, and that's just fucking appropriate. I mean, it just is. So, yeah, I'm cool with my name. My last name is my grandpa's last name, so, you know, we're real tight on that. But I even grew to like Kier. Love it, really. Rochelle, I'm still just like, yeah, on. But in Toadie's defense, my mother, it really does go, you know, pretty good with Kier, so I'll give her that. If you had the choice to pick your name, what would it be? Well, Kier. Now, when I was little, well, I'll use that in the random facts. Never mind, scratch that. What is your dream? Well, my main dream, the big dream, the dream that I'm still chasing, that I've had since I was 8 years old, has not changed, and it is still to be a published author. I had to kind of, I don't know, give a little bit on that dream, and for the time being accept being a self-published author, and accept that there's a possibility I will never be traditionally published, and find a way to be content with that. But I am still hoping that one day I will be traditionally published. That's my big dream. Do you wear makeup? Anymore when I can find 5 minutes to put it on. Yeah, sure. Used to, I wore makeup every single day of my life, and then it was whenever I felt like putting it on. And then I got to a point where the shittier I felt, the more I put it on, because it does make me feel better. Speaking of makeup, my face is swollen today. Anyway, and now it's whenever I can find 5 or 10 minutes to put it on. If you could write a book, what would the title be? And what would it be about? I am writing one. And it's the vampire version of Sleeping Beauty. And it's about a Highland witch who becomes a vampire. And it's called, I don't know how many of y'all know this, but the original version of Sleeping Beauty was A Briar Rose. I'm thinking about calling this one A Bloody Briar Rose, and having like a whole little explanation for that in there. I don't know. If not, it'll just be Sleeping Beauty. One of the two. What makes you cry? Well, there are many things that can make me cry. The two things that are surefire way to make me cry are stories about parents, especially mothers who lose children, and stories about children who have lost their mother. But, you know, of course, there are many things that have the potential to make me cry. What makes you angry? Again, there are many, many things that can make me angry. The one thing that has always made me angry and will always make me angry, no matter what the situation, is injustice. So, we'll go with that. What makes you happy? Wow. Right now, the baby, and the Tony, and, yeah. It can change from day to day or whatever. Always the baby, always the Tony, but things get added to it. We'll say the baby, Tony, writing, and being the happy little witch that I am. What is fangirling? I think it is when you are like super excited and almost obsessed with something. Is that right? Like when you just freak the fuck out over something or someone that you really like. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I'm not 100%. What are your 3 favorite snacks? Oh, Jesus. You know that you're talking to a fat kid here, right? Like, come on. Fuck. I have a lot more than 3. But, cheesecake, combos, and not just any combos. It can be any filling, but I really prefer the cracker ones. I'll eat the pretzel ones, still kind of be excited about them, but I prefer the cracker ones. And, fuck, I don't know. Really? With this question? What the fuck kind of question is this? This week, Snickers. I've been on a Snickers kick, so we'll go with that, I guess. What are your 3 favorite foods? Again, really? Are we talking foods I could eat if my stomach didn't suck big donkey dicks for quarters? 3 favorite foods that I would have and could eat if I could eat these foods. Lasagna, nacho cheese chalupas. I'm just naming off foods that I can't eat anymore because of my stomach, that I really, really love, and I'm angry that I can't eat them anymore. And pizza, I guess. That's another one I can't eat anymore that I really, really love. So we'll go with those. What are your 3 favorite drinks? Again, we're going on what I could drink if my stomach were not a factor. Okay? Coffee, and Jack Daniels. 10 random facts about you. Now, I was gonna try to write down 10 random facts about me before doing this, just to make it easier and all that good shit, but then it wouldn't really be spontaneous and random. So, I'm gonna use my hands to count them down so I don't lose track, and I'm gonna just wing this shit. Alright. Number 1. 2 of my biggest fears in the whole world are leprosy and being a survivor after an apocalypse. Number 2. When I was a little kid, I had this thing that I called fake life, where I had an entire imaginary life. I don't think I've talked about this in any videos before. I lived this from the time I came home from school until I went to bed. And then again in the morning until I went to school. I had this whole world where I had a name that I went by every single day that was not my name. I had a whole backstory. I had imaginary family that I talked to. You know, they were my imaginary friends. Baby dolls that were my children. I had a lot of children. I was an actress. I was kind of a hoe. I was also a teacher and a doctor and a writer. Yeah, I thought having 4 full-time careers and 54 children by like 48 different men was going to be easy peasy. And I did this most of my childhood. And I was in character, if you will, anytime I wasn't at school. So, there's that. A third random fact. I still talk to the oldest friends that I ever made on my own. My favorite Anne Rice book is The Vampire Lestat, and I feel it changed my life, but no, I think that's really not all that random. Okay. But I'm gonna go with it because I don't want to take forever doing this. Before I wanted to live in New Orleans, I went through a phase when I was about 6 or 7 years old where I really, really, really wanted to live in Colorado. And it was because I thought that Cheyenne Indians still lived in Colorado. Or lived in Colorado, period. No, yeah, they were from Colorado. Or lived there. Either way, yeah, I wanted to live in Colorado for a couple of years when I was a small child. Thank you, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, speaking of Dr. Quinn. What is that, 4? Or 4, right? Okay. The only semi-celebrity I've ever met in real life is Jack Hanna, and it's because I went to the Columbus Zoo, and we all know how Jack is about the Columbus Zoo, so. When I was 16, I went to an Ozfest that Marilyn Manson was at, and Marilyn Manson's parents were in the audience. And I almost got to go on his tour bus, but that's a story for another day. My first concert was Def Leppard, and it was in 2000, and it kind of sucked, but the one that I went to in 2003 was much, much better. this is really hard. My advice, if you're going to do this, write them down first. Speaking of quotes, I'm actually like obsessed with quotes, and I have this quote book that I write quotes down in, and I really haven't kept up with it at all. I'm gonna have to start keeping up with it again because I've lost track of a lot of really cool quotes. But yeah, I'm completely obsessed with quotes for like no good reason at all. I love them. Speaking of quotes, I believe that words have a massive amount of power, and that people really, really underestimate how much power words actually have. Last but not least, I was born on St. Patrick's Day, but I absolutely hate the whole shamrock birthday thing, and it was done to death during my childhood, and if I never ever get another shamrock cake for my birthday, I'll be a happy camper. I think that was 10. If it wasn't, I apologize. 3 fun things you like to do. Is that a fucking joke? At this point, take a shower, clean the kitchen, and put on my makeup. No, my idea of fun and other people's idea of fun have never been the same thing. So, my idea of fun, writing, reading, you know, yeah, writing, reading, and drinking. I don't know. And I don't even love to drink anymore. That's it. Oh yeah, and then tag 3 people. So I'll get to that at the end. And I kept it under 25 minutes. Haha. I'm so fucking proud of me. I really put effort into that. Did you see that? Because I did. And baby girl's up. So it's perfect time to cut it off. If you haven't done this tag and you want to do this tag, I tag you. I know I'm supposed to tag 3 people, but I'm a very inclusive kind of girl. So if you haven't done it, you want to do it, do it. That was fun. I encourage you to do it if you haven't done it, because it is fun. And that's it. That's all, folks.